Stop scrolling right now. What you're about to see will change everything you thought you knew about motorcycles. Hidden in a plain warehouse in California sits a collection worth more than most Hollywood blockbuster budgets, $50 million in metal and rubber that tells the story of human creativity like nothing else. Jay Leno doesn't just own these motorcycles, he owns machines that saved lives during World War II, set speed records that seemed impossible, and one bike worth $15 million that experts said couldn't possibly exist. In the next 25 minutes I'll show you motorcycles so rare that when one sold at auction, 3 museums tried to buy it. You'll see a bike that was hidden inside a wall for 50 years, and another that proves time travel might actually be possible. This isn't just any motorcycle collection, it's the most valuable treasure trove of two-wheeled history on the planet, and by the end of this video you'll understand why these aren't just vehicles, they're time machines. People know Jay Leno loves cars, but his real passion? Motorcycles. From a $25 broken-down Honda he fixed himself to the most expensive motorcycle ever sold. His collection tells the complete story of how we got from horse-drawn carriages to modern superbikes. Today we're counting down his top 15 most amazing motorcycles, and the stories behind them will blow your mind. Let's start with number 15, the 1969 Honda CB750 Sandcast. This isn't just any old Honda. The first 414 CB750s had engines made in sand molds. Because Honda wasn't sure if anyone would buy them. Talk about a risky bet. Leno found this one forgotten in a Los Angeles garage, covered in newspapers from 19. The owner had a small crash, parked it, and never touched it again. Here's the crazy part. Those newspapers actually protected the original blue-green paint perfectly. Even the toolkit was still wrapped in its original plastic bag. What made this bike special when it came out? It had a 7,306cc 4-cylinder engine making 67 horsepower, a front disc brake, an electric starter, all revolutionary features in night. But what makes Leno's bike extra valuable is that it's number 47 off the production line, making it one of the earliest ever made. You can actually see small bumps and marks in the engine cases from the sand casting process. When Honda engineers saw these mistakes at a show in Japan, they apologized to Jay. Today these imperfections make the bike worth about $40,000, way more than perfect-looking CB750s made later. Number 14 is a motorcycle with an incredible story, a 1938 Zündapp K800 that was literally used to fight against the Nazis from the inside. This German military motorcycle looks like a BMW with its flat-4 engine and driveshaft, but it had a secret advantage. It could run on potato alcohol when gas wasn't available. The 7097cc engine makes 26 horsepower, which was pretty good for night. The amazing part? The previous owner's father was part of the German resistance and used this exact motorcycle to smuggle Jewish families to safety across the Swiss border. The sidecar had a false bottom that could hide 2 children. Leno spent 5 years tracking down this bike after hearing its story from a Holocaust survivor at a car show. When he finally found it in an old barn in Germany, the bike still had secret resistance documents hidden inside. During restoration, they created special hidden compartments in the new seat to keep these historical papers safe. When this motorcycle starts up, you're not just hearing an engine, you're hearing the sound of bravery. Number 13 will make your jaw drop. This 1952 Vincent Black Lightning John Edgar Special is so valuable that Leno turned down $27 million for it. Why? Because this is the actual bike that Rolly Free rode to break the American speed record at the Bonneville Salt Flats, while wearing only a bathing suit. The 9098cc V-twin engine was boosted to 70 horsepower when most family cars only made about 100. Everything possible was made from magnesium or aluminum to save weight. The wheels were even custom made by Rolls-Royce's airplane division. The result, it hit 150/40/31 in 1948, a record that stood for 20 years. The bike came to Leno through the son of John Edgar, the original owner, who wanted it preserved rather than locked away in some billionaire's private collection. During restoration, they found Rolly-Free's lucky penny still taped inside the gas tank. Leno kept it there and added his own lucky penny right next to it. This bike isn't just transportation, it's the moment humans realized they could go faster than anyone thought possible. For number 12 we have the 1931 Indian 4, a bike that was once owned by the king of cool himself, Steve McQueen. Most people think Henderson was the only American company making four-cylinder motorcycles, but Indian proved them wrong. The 2065cc inline-4 engine makes 30 horsepower, but the cool part is how it works. It's basically a car engine turned sideways. The four separate exhaust pipes create what Indian called the symphony of power, and the cylinder heads are actually interchangeable with parts from a Ford Model A car. Leno bought this motorcycle at McQueen's estate sale in McQueen's garage. They found his handwritten notes for restoring it, and a box of parts he'd collected. Leno's team followed these notes exactly, even finding the same type of paint McQueen had ordered but never got to use. Today experts say this is probably the most valuable Indian 4 in the world, though Leno says he wouldn't sell it for any price. After all, how do you put a price tag on Steve McQueen's dream bike? Number 11 is a motorcycle that changed racing forever, a 1975 Ducati 7. This isn't just any Ducati, it's one of only 401 made with special mint green frames, and it has an incredible story. The 7048cc L-twin engine makes 73 horsepower, which was mind-blowing for 9. Every single part was hand-built by Ducati's racing department. What makes this particular bike extra special is that it was the test bike for Ducati's first ever electronic ignition system, basically a motorcycle technology pioneer. Leno found it in pieces in a Los Angeles garage, abandoned after someone tried and failed to customize it. The owner had no idea what treasure he had. During restoration, they found testing notes from Ducati's engineers still in the toolkit. The story gets even better. They actually tracked down one of the original mechanics who built the bike in Italy, who then flew to America to help with the restoration. Today only about 100 green frames still exist, and this might be the most historically important one of all. Number 10 is a motorcycle that helped create Hollywood as we know it. This 1927 Henderson Deluxe was once owned by a cameraman who filmed some of the very first chase scenes in silent movie. The bike's smooth four-cylinder engine made it perfect for filming. Other motorcycles shook too much to get clear footage. The 1301cc engine makes 28 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much until you learn its party trick. This Henderson could cruise at 100 miles while only using a quarter of its throttle. The engine runs so smoothly that you can balance a coin on top of it while it's running, something Leno still shows off at events. The story of how he found it is pure Hollywood magic. Leno spotted it being used as a window display in an antique shop in Burbank, just blocks from NBC Studios where he worked. The shop owner thought it was just an old Harley. The original sidecar, which once held movie cameras worth more than the bike itself, turned up years later at a Hollywood prop auction. Even crazier, the camera mount still had the operator's handwritten filming notes from. When this bike runs, you're hearing the sound that helped create the movie industry. Number 9 has a story that could be a movie itself. A 1925 BMW R3. During World War II, a Jewish BMW engineer hid this exact bike behind a false wall in Munich to keep it from being destroyed. He survived the war and moved to America but never went back for the motorcycle. 50 years later, Leno got a mysterious letter from the engineer's grandson, telling him where to find it. The 4086cc Zeit Boxer twin engine only makes 8.5 horsepower, but it created the blueprint for BMW motorcycles that's still used today. the sideways facing cylinders, the exposed drive shaft, and the shaft drive instead of a chain. Lenos R32 is one of only 390 ever built, and just 12 are known to exist with all original parts. The restoration story is amazing. Leno insisted on using historically accurate materials, even tracking down original German leather for the seat from a company that's been making motorcycle seats since. The paint is mixed using BMW's exact 1925 formula, including materials that would be illegal to use today because they're toxic. Every time this motorcycle starts up, it's a victory over one of history's darkest chapters. For number 8 we have a true American treasure, a 1939 Crocker Big Tank. If you think modern custom motorcycles are expensive, consider this. Al Crocker only built 72 motorcycles total before World War II ended his business. This is one of only 30 that still exist. Each Crocker was hand-built to order in Los Angeles. The 1000cc V-twin engine could be customized to exactly what the buyer wanted. Some made over 110 horsepower, which was insane for Crocker was so confident in his bikes that he promised to refund anyone who got beaten by a Harley Davidson. He never had to pay up. Leno's Crocker makes 93 horsepower, more than most cars of that time. The restoration took 7 years and cost over $4. Why so expensive? Every part had to be handmade since no spare parts exist anywhere. Just rebuilding the gas tank took 600 hours of work. Today this bike is worth over $1.2 million, but its historical value is priceless. It shows that American craftsmanship could compete with anything from Europe, and it did it with raw power and attitude. Number 7 is the world's first Superbike, a 1955 Vincent Black Shadow. But this isn't just any Black Shadow. It was owned by the wild writer Hunter S. Thompson, who wrote about it in his famous story Song of the Sausage Creature. Thompson called it too fast to live, too young to die, and he wasn't kidding. The specs were unbelievable for 1955. A 98cc V-twin making 55 horsepower, that could hit 125 mph when most bikes struggled to reach one. Every engine was tested for 100 hours before being installed. Imagine that kind of quality control today. The black engine isn't just for looks, it uses a special high-temperature coating developed for British fighter planes during World War II. Leno found this bike literally scattered across 3 states. The engine was in Colorado, the frame in Utah, and he found the gauges at a swap meet in California. The restoration took 4 years, and Leno kept all of Hunter's special modifications, including a custom bracket for holding his, recreational herbs. Every time this bike roars to life you can almost hear Hunter Thompson's ghost laugh. Number 6 is a true war veteran, a 1918 Harley-Davidson 18J that actually served in World War I. It's one of only 86 military-spec 18Js known to exist, and it still has actual bullet holes in the frame from combat in France. The 999cc flat twin engine makes just 15 horsepower, but what makes it special is that every single part was made to be interchangeable with other 18Js. A revolutionary idea in 1918 that changed manufacturing forever. The olive green paint even contains real mud from French battlefields, preserved under clear coat. Leno found this bike in a barn in Wisconsin, where it had been stored since. The original owner, a World War I veteran, left instructions that it should never be sold, only given to someone who would preserve its history. His family chose Leno after seeing how he cared for other military vehicles. The restoration used only original 1918 parts, some found at archaeological digs at old military bases. When this motorcycle runs, you're hearing the actual sound of World War I, a living piece of history. Number 5 shows what happens when engineers throw away the rulebook, a 1949 Vincent Black Lightning. Only 33 were ever built, and Leno's is the actual bike that set the American speed record of. It's like owning the Wright brothers airplane or the first moonlander. The engineering is mind-blowing. A 98cc V-twin making 70 horsepower in a bike weighing just. They removed everything that wasn't absolutely necessary. The frame is part of the gas tank, the oil tank is part of the frame, and they drilled holes in every bolt to save weight. Even modern Superbikes have trouble matching its power-to-weight ratio. The restoration story sounds like fiction. The bike was found in pieces in a shipping container in Australia, missing its engine. Through an amazing series of coincidences, Leno tracked down the original engine. It was being used as a coffee table by a retired racer in New Zealand. The reunion of the engine and frame made motorcycle magazine headlines worldwide. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a mechanical masterpiece that happens to go faster than anything else on two wheels. Number 4 might be the most historically important American motorcycle ever. A 1902 Indian Camelback. This isn't just some old bike. It's one of the very first motorcycles ever built in America. The story of how Leno found it is unbelievable. It was discovered during renovation of an old bicycle shop in Massachusetts, hidden inside a wall. Apparently the original owner hid it there during Prohibition, to keep his delivery vehicle secret. What makes this Indian special isn't its tiny 1.75 horsepower single-cylinder engine, it's that it's 100% original, down to the leather belt drive and bicycle pedals. Most surprising of all, Leno didn't restore it. He made the controversial decision to preserve it exactly as found, including century-old dust. This isn't just a motorcycle, he says. It's a time capsule. Even the original tire pump is still attached to the frame. When Indian motorcycle historians examined it, they discovered it was built on a Thursday in June 9. How do they know? The assembly workers' initials are still visible inside the engine case. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's the very DNA of American transportation. Number 3 takes us to motorcycle royalty. A 1929 Bro Superior SS 100 Alpine Grand Sports, called the Rolls-Royce of motorcycles. Each one came with a certificate proving it had been tested at 100 miles, but this particular SS 100 has a secret that wasn't discovered until The 998cc V-twin engine makes 45 horsepower, amazing for 1929, but that's not what makes it special. This bike was custom ordered by Lawrence of Arabia himself. T.E. Lawrence died before the bike was delivered, and it was put in storage where it remained untouched for 8. When Leno bought it, his team found Lawrence's original order sheet still in the tool compartment. His requests were fascinating. Extra large gas tank for crossing deserts, special gearing for riding in sand, and a compass mount on the handlebars. The bike cost £180 in 1929, more than a house in London at that time. Today it's worth over $4 million. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's a direct connection to one of history's most mysterious figures. Number 2 is where motorcycling began. In 1894 Hildebrand and Wolf Miller, the world's first production motorcycle. Only 2,000 were built, and only 4 complete ones still exist. This isn't just a piece of motorcycle history, it's the beginning of the entire industry. The story of how Leno got it sounds like a spy movie. It was discovered in a Soviet military museum after the Berlin Wall fell. It had been taken by the Russian army in 19... When Leno found out about it, he had to negotiate with 5 different governments just to get permission to bring it to America. The price? He won't say, but experts think around. The engineering is both fascinating and terrifying. The 14D88cc water-cooled twin-cylinder engine uses the back wheel as its flywheel. There's no clutch, no gears, and the only way to start it is to run alongside and jump on. Those rubber bands aren't decorations, they're actually the return springs for the pistons. Top speed is about 28 mph if you're brave enough to try. When this machine runs, you're seeing the exact moment when humans first decided to put engines on bicycles. It's the missing link between horses and modern motorcycles. And finally, number 1, the holy grail of motorcycles and the most expensive motorcycle in the world. Only 4 E90 AJS Porcupines were ever built, And this is the actual bike that won the 1949 World Championship, the first year of Grand Prix motorcycle racing. The 500cc twin-cylinder engine makes 55 horsepower at 7,600 RPM, numbers that seem small until you realize this bike weighs just 85 pounds. It got its nickname from the cooling fins that stick out from the cylinder head like porcupine quill. The engineering was so advanced that some features like the chain-driven overhead camshafts didn't become common on production bikes until the 90s. When Leno bought it in 2011 for $15 million, people thought he was crazy. But here's what makes it priceless. This bike represents the moment motorcycle racing became a science instead of just a sport. Every modern racing motorcycle, from MotoGP to Superbikes, can trace its design back to this machine. The restoration took 3 years and required inventing new manufacturing techniques just to reproduce certain parts. The original blueprints were lost in a factory fire in 1952, so Leno's team had to reverse engineer components using old photographs and X-rays. The paint alone took 6 months to perfect. It's not just green, it's the exact shade of British racing green used by AJS in 19. This isn't just a motorcycle, it's the Rosetta Stone of motorcycle engineering. From an Indian found in a wall to the most expensive motorcycle ever sold, Jay Leno's collection isn't just about machines, it's a timeline of human innovation. Each bike tells a story of creativity, competition, and our never-ending desire to go faster than ever before. These aren't just vehicles, they're time capsules that show us who we were and how far we've come. Listen carefully, this is your chance to be part of motorcycle history. Hit that subscribe button right now and smash the notification bell. We have exclusive access to 3 more private collections that nobody has ever filmed before. Second, drop everything and comment below with which motorcycle from Jay's collection shocked you the most and why. Your answers will determine which rare machine we feature in our next deep dive video. And here's the most important part. Share this video with anyone who appreciates engineering, history, or motorcycles. These stories are in danger of being lost forever, and you can help preserve them. For every 1,000 shares, we'll release another exclusive interview with Jay about a motorcycle that's never been seen on camera before. Remember what Jay always says, the best bike in the world is the one you're riding right now. Unless you're riding a $15 million AJS Porcupine, then it really is the best bike in the world.